Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews, and welcome to Northern Ontario in the fall. Right over on this side here I've got my diesel powered log splitter. I'm going to show you that in action, and then I'll show you what I go in the bush with when I'm getting my all my logs, and I'll give you a little tour of the log splitter and show you a little bit of the design. So let's get to it. Let's start her up. Well, the first thing you're going to notice is I have the battery cables, booster cables hooked up to a battery down here, because I can't leave a battery in here all the time. It'll go dead on you. So I got a control panel. I'll show you that after. Okay, let's get to it. Well, we'll start right off at the hour meter. This one here's got 21 hours on it, and the most I've ever split wood is 2 hours. And that pretty much lasts us for about 3 years. So then we've got our voltage gauge, got our temp gauge, and both of them have automatic shut-offs. So if you lose your voltage, or if you lose your oil pressure, or if it gets too hot, well, it shuts down automatically. So if you just turn to the on here, you see the glow plug switch? See, it lights up there. And I like that better than actually using their switch here, because there was a problem trying to figure how to hook that up, and so I found it easier just to run my own. So yeah, there's the radiator right there, and this is a Kubota 2-cylinder diesel Z482, and it's been a terrific engine. And over here, well, there's my homemade throttle. I have an identical engine like this at home. I'll be showing that soon, and all the different features of it. You can see the fuel filter over there. Well, I'll take you over on the back here and I'll show you the design. And the only thing, I got it on a trailer, so it's good for on the highway, and you know, it's got lights and everything. And this little cover here, well, that's just to keep the rain off it and that kind of stuff. I throw a tarp over it and throw it back in the bush. But this is the unit here. All I did was buy the I-beam. I fabricated everything else. I welded all these pieces on, and I welded this on after, because sometimes the logs would want to slip on you here. So I just ran a couple of beads down here, and I made all the head myself. And if you see all these bolts here, man, I put grade 5 bolts and I sheared them all off the first time I went to use them. Had to go to grade 8. I mean, it's got so much power. And so you can see how this was designed here. Now the knife edge here, it was just a piece of flat stock, and I ran welding beads with a stick welder all the way along, and I sharpened it up, and I've never had to touch that, and it's still razor sharp all these years. So this would be about 12-year-old unit, 12, 15 years. Okay, so here you can see the filter, and I got a huge tank on there, probably more than what you need. And this is the business end right here. And if you check this out, guys, I got that welded up 10 times over. Put a nice plate down here as well. Welded all these pieces in. And put a nice pin in here. Guys, that's not going nowhere. I've split so much wood with this. And with this cylinder on, I believe that's a 5-inch or 6-inch cylinder. I'm not too sure now, it's been a long time. But yeah, it has never failed me to put any piece of wood on. And I put oak, maple, you name it. So that's pretty much the design there. Now let's go inside, take a look and see what this engine looks like. I know the lighting's not very good, but you'll see it a lot better when I show the engine I done before. And I have 2 of these, and that's it right there. There's no emissions on this. It's all basic stuff. And there's the pump on the end. And so I had to fabricate the bracket, everything else to go in the back, and find all these parts to make it. And that's pretty well it there. So, and of course I just used plumbing tubing, and way back there in the back, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a big air filter, and that's for a 5.9 Cummins. So I don't have to worry about air on this for a long time. So, okay, so let's, I'll show you the setup that I use when I go into the bush. Okay, when I go into the bush, the first thing I do is I just put my pole saw on the back, because I'll tell you what, if you want to delimb trees nice, use the pole saw. You know, never mind this bending over with a chainsaw. It's a lot easier with the pole saw. And of course, I made one of these, just a log lifter, years ago. There it is right there, 2008. And I've got a Stihl 170 and a 260. And I find combination of these 3 units, I can go out pretty much for the day to get all the wood that I need. And of course you need your safety gear. And so that's the setup right there. And I leave everything in the bush. I fill this trailer up, and I'll show you the wood pile that I have from filling this trailer up once. So let's go take a look at that next. So there's the 2 logs I have to do yet, and that's that trailer. 1 load of wood, and that's what it does right there. And we burn 1 of these for a whole season. So next year I'll get more and do this one. I don't want to do it all in 1 year, because and this is all poplar, and poplar will dry easy, no problem. 40 days you'll be able to burn this. So I only burn poplar most of the time, and it's easy to dry, easy to split, easy to cut, and it doesn't burn too hot. So I'll show you my other wood pile. Okay, so there's my other wood pile there, and that was not a full trailer load. That was about maybe 3/4 of a trailer load. And if we take a look here, this is my the one that I built. I showed a video on how to make this, and if you want, I'll put a link down below and you can make one yourself. But this amount here, after I split it, will fill this side here all the way up. And as you can tell, the back side is all full. So this is good for 1 year. The other piles over there are good for 2. This will be for 3. Next year I'll cut and it'll be for 4. So, you know, every year I just want to cut enough to fill 1 panel up, right? So that's pretty much it there. And you could see how much it's aged. And that wood was cut 2 years ago. Well, what do you think of the little setup? I think it's ideal for me. The total time for me to split that whole load of wood in that little trailer is about 40 minutes. So that's not too bad at all. And you know, when you're set up like that, you can go out for the day. I don't have to bring no gas with me, no oil. I got enough chainsaws to last me for the whole day. I'm not going back and forth. And it's quite easy, a nice easy setup. So I've been thinking about maybe showing you how I cut down some trees. Like that tree there at the base was maybe 20 inches, but you guys let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see somebody cutting down a tree, because there's lots of people on YouTube cutting down trees, and I find it quite easy, but you know, a lot of people have never done it, and this is the great part about YouTube, is you get to see some stuff that generally, yeah, most people just don't have the opportunity to do. So, but this is the rig setup here, and I will show you in the future that diesel engine complete. I think I got 5 hours on the other one, and thanks for joining me here today, and thanks for tuning in to my little paradise up in Northern Ontario. If you haven't seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe, and come back again, and let's just have some fun. Cheers.